Hi Conscious Carnivores, welcome back to another video here in the Conscious Carnivore Collective. This month is all about beef, so today I want to share with you my research on the differences between grass-fed and grain-fed beef. Now, I'll be breaking down the differences into three categories. The first is flavor. What's the difference in taste, right? Is there a difference in taste and flavor at all between grass-fed and grain-fed beef? The second thing that we're going to talk about is the difference in health, right? Is grass-fed beef better for you or is grain-fed beef better for you? And last but not least is ethics. Is there a difference in ethics when it comes to raising grass-fed beef as well as grain-fed beef? So without further ado, let's get right to it. So let's start with flavor. Grass-fed beef is known to be way leaner, way less fat content, but a more robust and a much earthier flavor. A more beefier flavor, I would say. Grain-fed beef, on the other hand, has way more marbling, so it tends to be a little more tender and a little more lighter in flavor. So it's really up to you on your personal preference when it comes to choosing grass-fed or grain-fed beef for the flavor. Do you like a more fattier cut, fattier type of meat, or would you prefer a more leaner, a more robust and a beefier sort of flavor when it comes to eating beef? Now let's talk about health. So as mentioned, grass-fed beef has way less fat compared to grain-fed, which means less calories. There's also research that grass-fed beef has higher levels of healthy omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA in short, which is associated with lower risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and stroke. And according to Dr. Richard Bazinet, a nutritional sciences professor at the University of Toronto, he analyzed the fatty acids in grass-fed beef, and it shows that grass-fed beef has 50 to 100 milligrams of ALA fatty acids compared to 20 milligrams in the conventional beef. And lastly, let's talk about ethics. You see, grass-fed beef does not mean that the cows were raised ethically. According to industry standards, only about 30% of a cow's diet has to be grass for them to be considered grass-fed. This means that if a cow eats grass for the first quarter of their life and eats grain for the rest of their lives, they can still be marketed as being grass-fed. And it makes sense. If a cow only eats grass for its entire life, which means it's grass-fed and grass-finished, it takes 6 to 12 months longer for them to reach market weight in comparison to a cow which is grain-fed or finished on grain. And that doesn't do well for business. The next thing to know is grass-fed does not mean that the cows were raised on pasture. The cows can be grass-fed even if they're in a feedlot, in a factory farm. They can still be marketed as grass-fed because they are eating grass. They just are not raised or eating grass on pasture. You see, raising cows on pasture and have them eat grass is the most natural way of raising cows, because cows are naturally built and evolved to digest grass. That's what they're naturally built to do, to convert grass into proteins. Just like how we can't digest grass, cows actually cannot digest grains. And according to the Globe and Mail, switching a cow to a corn-heavy diet leads to an increase in acidified rumen, which leads to heartburn, it upsets their digestive system, and it leads to a lot of liver issues as well. And the vast majority of grain-fed beef are raised in overcrowded feedlots where they have limited access to the outdoors, to fresh air, or exercise. This is why they have more marbling, this is why they're fatter, this is why it's easier and cheaper to buy grain-fed beef. At the end of the day, it's completely up to you whether you choose to go with grass-fed beef or grain-fed beef. It's completely your choice based on your decisions. But if you do choose to go with grass-fed beef, make sure that they're actually grass-fed and grass-finished. There's so many labels and stores out there, whether it's your local Safeway or your local supermarket, that just promotes it as grass-fed just to make the sale and just so you're, oh, grass-fed, I'm gonna get it, right? At the end of the day, make sure you're more informed. Grass-fed, make sure it's grass-finished as well, just so you're paying for what you're actually getting. Again, thank you very much for watching another video here at the Conscious Carnivore Collective, the place to help you to know more, to see more, and to learn more so that we can all become more conscious as people with meat in our diets. Again, my name is James. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you invite your friends, people who might find value in a video like this or in a group like this. I'll see you in the next video.